Okay. I'm going to call it now. Bear with me 1 second. Mr. Omar?
Yes.
Okay. I have Kristen on the line. She is in the process of trying to get the correct person on the line to be able to assist you. We only have 3 people within my department, and my queue log is like backing up. I've had calls that's been holding for over 30 minutes now. So she's going to stay on the line with you and assist you with getting to the correct department. I've given her the details of why you were calling, so she's going to further assist you from here, so that way I can jump back on some calls really quickly, okay?
Okay. What's the supervisor's name at the Special Investigations Unit?
So within my department, my supervisor won't talk to you, but her name is Sabra. Because this isn't something that we handle. We don't handle anything with what you're calling in regards to. But her name is Sabra.
What am I calling in regards to? Could you verify?
So our department we assist with fraud, waste, and abuse. But the reason for your calls has to do with the police brutality and things like that. I've advised you that that would be like a subrogation legal matter. That's not something that our department actually assists with. That is something that's not within like our scope of what we handle at Humana. But yes, my supervisor's name is Sabra.
But I did mention that when the police beat me up on August 7th, 2018, or when they attempted to murder me, they brought me to Jackson Memorial Hospital after, and Jackson Memorial Hospital tried to cover up the police brutality case also. And then they billed Humana, my health insurance company.
So that would be medical malpractice, which would be subrogation. So that's why I was advising you of subrogation. So that would be considered medical malpractice is what that would be. Subrogation would be the ones that would handle that, and I can give you their phone number as well. But that is a totally different department than the Special Investigation Unit.
Okay, but isn't fraud, waste, and abuse the same as somebody wasting policy and forcing fraud upon the courts and, falsifying medical documentation and things like that?
So in our department, we base our findings off of medical records and things like that. That's how we pay our claims. But like I advised you from 2018, that's a legacy delete. So we actually don't have access to be able to investigate claims that are that old. We can only go back 3 years and do an investigation within our department. So that would be legal. Subrogation can handle those, but that is not within our department.
So the legal subrogation department would have to investigate those because they're so old, you said?
It wouldn't necessarily be an investigation, but they would be the ones that you would obtain those records from.
But why didn't they investigate it when I reported it to them years ago?
I'm not sure, sir. I'm not sure. I do have Kristen on the line. She's going to be able to further assist you with getting you to the care manager. Okay. That's the one that can assist you with it. But I do have other calls in queue that I need to take. I have 4 calls waiting for me.
Okay, I have another question. When the Florida Medical Center in Oakland Park, Florida, sent me to the uninhabitable rental property that had people there trying to cover up the police brutality case, my son's death case, and they purposely made me sick, and they caused me to catch Streptococcus group A. I had to get surgery, and they did several things to try to make it difficult for me to obtain monetary relief. And then they sent me to another uninhabitable rental property. And then they tried to bill Humana again. Isn't that fraud and waste of policy and fraud and abuse and all those things? The rental properties that I'm referring to is 3101 Southwest 12th Place in Davie, Florida. And then the second uninhabitable rental property that they sent me to was 2350 Northwest 11th
We
Street.
wouldn't assist with anything with rental property, sir. We're medical, so we only handle things within your medical.
Yeah, it was through medical. It was like some kind of like medical house or something where they had.
It wasn't through Humana. We wouldn't have helped assist with anything like that. That would be a Medicaid issue. If Medicaid assisted you with getting housing, you would have to contact Medicaid itself in regards to that. And Medicaid they do have their own department within the Florida Department of Children and Families, but you would have to contact them directly.
Yeah, but I had Humana Medicaid when they sent me there, and then they billed.
Correct,
Humana
but they
Medicaid.
wouldn't have billed it to Humana. For housing, they wouldn't have billed that to Humana. That goes through your regular Medicaid. There's certain things that are billed through Humana and certain things that are billed through Medicaid itself.
Well,
We wouldn't have assisted with anything with housing.
Well, they billed Humana for when I went to the hospital, and I asked them for help, and then they sent me to the uninhabitable rental properties where they had people there trying to cover up the cases and the complaints that I filed, and they purposely made it difficult for me to obtain monetary relief because my opposing counsels were all government employees. So that's waste of policy. That's fraud upon the court. That's fraud and abuse and all those things that the special that I reported.
We wouldn't have defined that within fraud, waste, and abuse within Humana. That's why I'm advising you of the protocol that I have. That's not something that our department would look at.
And then another thing too, when I reported this to Humana, I asked them I need to speak with the special investigations unit, and they told me that's who I was reporting it to. They told me that's who I was talking to. But you're telling me that the reports in the system.
Okay, I actually have Tangela. She just now told me that she's free and clear. She can speak to you now. So I'm going to transfer you to her since she is your care management. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Since she's free, I'm going to go in and transfer you to her so she can.
Could you explain to her in detail what I need her to do so I don't have to repeat all this over again, please?
Yes, sir. 1 second. Mr. Omar, I have Tangela on the line. I've given her a brief description of why you're calling, and she's going to further assist you from here.
Okay, did you specify the details that I gave you about the reoccurring violations of 18 USC SS 1513 and SS 766.110?
Hi, this is Tandy, Nurse Case Manager with Humana Health and Horizons Plan. This call may be recorded for quality assurance. Mr. Omar, she did specify to me that you were trying to obtain medical records from 2015 to 2018. We are your insurance company, the payer. We do not house your medical records. If you are trying to obtain medical records, you're going to have to contact whoever provided the treatment. Okay? That's not something that we house here. We don't house medical records in the sense that we have like a whole stack of your medical records from all of your treatments. The only thing that gets sent to us is like numbers. We don't get claims in a way that is a stack of medical records. We just get like, okay, he had a 99214 or something like that, which is an office visit. So we don't house medical records, nor do we case management retrieve medical records. That's something you have to take up with whoever you got the medical treatment from. So who did you get medical treatment from? Which hospital?
Which hospital?
Mr. Omar? Yeah, which hospital did you get medical treatment from?
Every hospital in South Florida.
Okay, so every hospital in South Florida would need to be contacted by you to request your medical records from every hospital in South Florida. We, Humana, do not have medical records to provide to you, nor do we share anything with you in that sense because we don't get medical records. We get claims, and we get claims data and numbers. That's how they come over. So we wouldn't have anything that would be supportive to any cases or anything like that because we don't get them like that. We're the payer. So what you'll need to do if you're looking for specific medical records is contact each and every hospital that you were treated by in the South Florida area and request that from them individually. They'll probably want you to come or have you sign some release or something like that, and then they'll release that documentation to you per their, hospital records or per what they have. But that's not something that we house here. I'm sorry.
So what could you help me with?
The only thing that I can help you with is your health care needs to date. So, like, if you have, like, diabetes or something like that, I can educate you on the things that you should and shouldn't do as far as, like, diabetes. That's what we do here. If you have, like, high blood pressure, I can tell you to maintain a proper diet. I can get you out of blood pressure cuff. I can let you know the foods that you should avoid for high blood pressure. Those are the type of things that we case managers do here. We don't have any ability to send out anything to you as far as, like, records or anything like that. That's not our role.
So who could help me with something like that? Because I'm not feeling well and I'm still injured from these cases that I'm reporting to the special investigation
There
unit.
is no one here that can help you with what your specific needs are, which is obtaining medical records from each and every hospital in South Florida. The only person that can do that is yourself because they won't even speak to me pertaining to your medical record. If it's your medical records, that's something that you will have to contact them, contact the medical record department for whichever hospital or all of them, since you said you went to each and every one of them. Contact each and every one of those hospital departments that have medical records, and you're going to have to request and probably sign a release for those records to come to you. That's not our role, and that's not something that we get involved in or that we can do. We don't have any jurisdiction over that, and we don't house medical records.
Well, I had to run away from South Florida because of the reoccurring violations of 18 U.S. CSS 1513 and
So,
SS seven six six point
Mr.
one zero.
Omar, your repetition of those particular statutes don't mean anything to us because we don't follow those guidelines. We don't house medical records. I'm not sure what those statutes mean. You said you were not going to repeat them, and I don't want to make you repeat them, but we don't have anything to do with whatever that statute is. We
Well,
don't have your medical records here. We do not house them here. That is something that you have to contact those specific entities and get that from them.
What I'm trying to tell you is I had to run away from South Florida. I'm in Tallahassee, Florida now because of the reoccurring violations of 18 USC SS 1513 and SS 766.110 that they did together, because the people that did these things to me are government employees. And I ran away from South Florida, and I'm in Tallahassee, Florida now. And I came to Tallahassee, Florida because I figured if I go to Tallahassee, Florida, which is the capital of Florida, I'd be safer because there's more government entities and municipalities here, and it's the capital of Florida. So I figured I'd be safer here because they would have to follow the law. Unlike South Florida, it's like a high traffic tourist area, and there's a lot of jealousy and corruption down there. And that's why they were able to continue to violate 18 USC SS 1513 and SS 766.110 and get away with it. They tried to do everything they possibly could to get away with it. They made me sick on purpose. They exhausted me of all my resources. They purposely tried to intimidate me. They harassed me. They unethically hacked my electronic devices. And they did all these things during, before, and after I continued to complain about them violating 18 USC SS 1513 and SS 766.110. And that's how they were able to continue to get away with it. That's why I ran away from South Florida, and I'm now in Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay. So again, you will have to contact each and every one of those hospitals. You don't have to go and visit those hospitals. I'm sure that they will take a written request from you to get whatever documentation you need. I'm pretty sure they're also going to probably charge you per page for that. So they'll be taking that request along with, more than likely, along with payment for whatever records that you're trying to get. You don't have to travel to South Florida to the hospitals to get your medical records, but I'm sure they're going to have you sign some type of documentation. Now, that said, we are the payer. They contract with us. They don't work for us. So whatever statute that you're repeating, that's something that you need to go and probably work out with the government bodies that are over those statutes. It doesn't mean anything to Humana because they're the payer. So we don't have any jurisdiction over the hospitals. We can't make them release any medical records. We can't force them to do anything, any of the above, nor do we get involved in any of those type things because we are the payer. That is all. We don't have anything to do with your medical records, what's going on with you and the government entities and all of that. That's something that you need to discuss with a different government body, maybe the police department, maybe the FBI. But that's not something that we can help you with here. Now, what I can help you with is whatever main health concern that you have that I can help you with today. Do you have hypertension, COPD, CHF, asthma, any of those things that I can help you with today? Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be of much help to you. If you're calling for, getting, obtaining case records from 2015 to 2018, not something I can do. And not something that I probably should even be discussing with you because I can't do anything about it, and I don't want to give you the false impression that that's something that we can do for you here. But is there any other healthcare needs? I know you say you are not feeling very well. Have you already gone to your primary care doctor over at Florida Medical Practice and talked to them and gotten an appointment to discuss why you're not feeling good?
Sure, yeah. I've also been feeling chest pain all day today. it's like a sharp
If
pain.
you're feeling chest pain,
they're probably
going to tell you that you probably should maybe go to the emergency room. Have you already visited Florida Medical Practice and established care with them before, or will you be a new patient?
Florida Medical Practice. What is that?
That's your primary care doctor. It's located on the back of your Humana ID card. You sounds like you haven't made a connection with them yet.
I thought it was Florida State University Primary Health.
In our system, it says Florida Medical Practice, but it doesn't mean that they're the name that they go by in our system. I can take a look and see if there's any. But if you're looking at the name that's on the back of your Humana ID card and you're skeptical as to what I'm telling you, you can go ahead and call that number that's on the back of your Humana ID card. That is probably likely the same, but I just want to make sure you're comfortable doing so. The number we have in our system might be different from theirs, the number that's on the back of your ID card, but I have 850-644-1543. Is that what you're showing?
I don't know. I received it in the mail. I haven't even opened that mail yet.
Okay, so you probably should go ahead and open that. That is going to be who your primary care doctor is, and if you like me to, since you haven't
I know who my
ahead.
primary care doctor is. Dr. George Whitten at Florida State University Primary Health, the 2911 building.
So if you visited him before, then that's who you need to contact about your present illness.
Sure.
We pay for it. We don't do anything we can't do anything with your treatment specifically other than recommend you go back to your primary care doctor. That's what we do. We pay once you go. But, if it's a covered benefit item, we pay, that is. But what I can do is, as a case manager, I can contact them with you on the line, see if they want to schedule your appointment to come in or if they want you to go to the emergency room since you're having chest pain.
Oh, yeah, well, I asked for a case manager to help me do that previously, but they didn't help me with that. But
okay, well, I'll be happy to help you today. Now, that's not something that let's be clear. We're, as case managers, we are here to help you, assist you meet your healthcare goals. So we're not here to make appointments for you, but I'm more than willing to connect you with your primary care doctor since you're not feeling well. I'll be happy to do that. That's not something that you just call us and you tell us what to do and we just do it. We're not secretaries in that fashion. We're here to help you meet your healthcare goals. So that means that you're going to be making call-outs as well. The same way you called us and you were on the line and you're waiting and you're very well-versed and you can tell us what's going on with you, that's what you can do with your primary care doctor, and that's what we'll be expecting. So if you're thinking that you can contact us and tell us, hey, I want you to call my doctor for me and schedule an appointment, that's not how we do here. Now, I just don't want you to have your expectations that we're going to be here doing everything and anything. That's not how this operates. Our job as your case manager is 3 to 6 months. It's short term. I know different companies do different things, though. So you might get a case manager with another entity, and they might do everything for you. That is not how we operate here. Our job as the insurer is to make sure that you're connected to your services. So if you know who your primary care doctor is, you need to contact your primary care doctor. However, if you're having an issue and you're not feeling good today, I'd be happy to. Would you like me to give them a call so you can schedule with them?
Whatever you want to do. But
it's not about what I want to do. It's about what you would like me to do in that fashion. But the other things are off the table. Obtaining case records, contacting all the hospitals down in South Florida, all of those things are not something that is within our scope of practice as case managers. But what I can do, with your permission, if you say yes to it and would like me to, is contact your primary care doctor with you on the line and try to schedule since you're not feeling good. But since you sound like you might be able to do that on your own. So if you're able to do it on your own, I won't, I definitely
I'm not sure exactly what the Special Investigations Unit told you I needed you to do, but I never told them to tell you to call all the hospitals and get my medical records.
They don't tell me. They didn't tell me or won't be telling me to call the hospitals because they don't know my role. I said that. You said you were not going to be repeating anything to her, and she told me what she could about what you were needing. She told me that you were trying to obtain case records from 2015 to 2018 and made it quite clear that you didn't want to repeat those things to me. Yet you have several times repeated to me the things that you said you didn't want to repeat again. Now, I'm aware that you have some type of statutes. They don't mean anything to us Humana. I'm telling you what I can do for you and what my role is, and it's probably just not beneficial to you. So would you like me to call your primary care doctor with you on the line so that you can schedule you an appointment with them? Or how can I help you meet your health care goals other than trying to obtain records from 2015 to 2018 and contacting every Florida hospital for your records?
Yeah, I never asked the Special Investigations Unit to tell you to do that.
They did not, Mr. Omar. They didn't. I'm sorry. Let's go back over what you, because I think we're getting hung up here. How can I help you meet your healthcare goals? Because you didn't tell them that. You mentioned that you had those needs, but how can I help?
I just need you to do what you could do to help me obtain monetary relief so I could fully recover.
We don't have monetary relief here. That's not our role in healthcare. But the way we operate is if you go to your primary care doctor and you have an issue and they submit us a claim, we process that claim, but monetary relief is not within our scope of practice here at Humana. If you're needing like something like that, have you already tried all of the other resources in the area? Like have you tried to call 211, United Way, those type things for monetary resources? That's not something we have. So we can try to get you with them, with those entities, and they might be able to tell you who might be able to give you money or help you with housing or anything like that. That's not something we do. We're the payer of your insurance claims, the ones that come to us from whatever treatment. If they're approved or denied, that doesn't have anything to do with the case managers specifically, but that's what we do here. So I think you might, be better to outreach either 211 or findhelp.org to see who might be able to get you some monetary, gains or whatever you need to help you along since you moved to Tallahassee. But how can I help you health-wise? That is all I can do is with health, your health-related issues, get you over to your primary so that you can discuss what you have going on and educate you on anything that you need health-wise to try to better your health. That's what our role is. It's not, as in-depth as one might think, but it's a very, rewarding role, and I'll be happy to help you with that. Is there something I can help you with health-wise?
I don't know. I mean, everything I mentioned to you is affecting my health negatively. That's why I have to go to the doctor, and they're billing Humana Medicaid, and they're purposely doing these things to make it difficult for me to obtain monetary relief so I can fully recover. And I've reported to the FBI.
I don't know how that entails with Humana, though. That doesn't. How they're billing us, as long as they're billing us within the billing rights, we just process the claim. We don't have any jurisdiction over how they bill us.
Well, that's why.
If you feel like they're billing incorrectly.
Yeah, that's what they're
doing.
Thank
you for reporting it, but until that is found to be substantiated, there's nothing either case manager can do about how they're billing. Are you saying that you're being billed incorrectly, like not going to the doctor and they're saying you're coming?
No, they're manipulating.
How is it incorrect?
They're manipulating my living situations, and they're purposely causing me to get sick, and they're purposely causing me to have to go to the doctor. And
who is they? Who is the they you're speaking of that's purposely causing you to get sick and have to go to the doctor?
Government employees, government entities, and municipalities.
We cannot do anything can't do anything to help you about Mr. Omar. I cannot do anything to help you about a government employee doing anything to you. That's not my role. The only thing we Humana can do is try to help you with what you got health-wise today. So if somebody is after you, that sounds like something that you need to take up with a government agency, not Humana. That's not our role here. Our role is the payer of your health care claim. So if something is happening to you specifically that is illegal, you need to contact the police. the Tallahassee police, that is, or either the FBI.
Yeah, I did. I told the Tallahassee police. I told the FBI. I told the CIA. I told the White House. I told the White House during the Donald J. Trump administration. I told the White House during the Joseph Robinette Biden administration. And Joseph Robinette Biden reached out to me and told me to keep him informed about the situation. And I'm now in Tallahassee, Florida, because of what they were doing to me in South Florida, which is the reoccurring violations of 18 U.S.C. SS 1513 and SS
Mr. Omar, sorry to
766.
interrupt you with that. Those statutes do not mean anything to humanity. Like, they don't mean anything to us. I'm so sorry that you have to repeat them, but they don't mean anything to me. What about behavioral health? Do you have any thoughts of suicide? Do you have any, what about your, mental health? Are you depressed? Do you have isolation, loneliness, thoughts of suicide, or difficulty sleeping, or anything related to behavioral health that we need to refer you to, or do we need to send someone out to check in on you?
You could do whatever.
That you're doing okay.
You could do whatever you want. I'm telling you, just like you said, I'm very well versed. So I'm telling you exactly the situation. So if you want to build humanity,
Sorry, I can't do anything about that, Mr. Omar. The only thing I can do is let's talk about your present concern of having chest pain and all this stuff. Have you talked to your primary care doctor at the number on the back of your Humana ID card about what you have going on with chest pain? And did they tell you to go to the hospital, or what did they tell you to do?
No, this is, what do you mean, today?
Yes, today.
I've been on the phone trying to speak with the Special Investigations Unit so they could explain to you.
Our Special Investigations Unit is not going to be pertaining to what you are trying to specially investigate. It wouldn't be anything to that nature. They would probably investigate like a claims or something like that, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to speak to you on something so vague. You're going to have to probably submit, or some government entity might have to submit something to them. How can we help you health-wise? What can we do to help you meet your healthcare goals? Now, if you're just generally sick and it's pertaining to whatever those statutes are, I won't be able to help you. No one in Humana will. But if I can help you get to a specialist, or maybe get to your primary so they can refer you to a specialist or something like that, I'd be more than happy to. So that's what we need to concentrate and focus on. The other stuff we cannot help you with. So go ahead and either call your primary care doctor or give me their number that's on the back of your Humana ID card, and I can call them, or I can call them with the number that I have in the system. I won't mention their name since it doesn't match up. So which would you like me to do today? Because this conversation about the government entity, I can't help you with that. So I don't want you to be, getting worse off sick while we're talking about that. I want to help you get better as soon as possible.
No, it's not just government.
Your primary.
It's not just government entities.
Sir?
It's government municipalities also.
Okay. Well, you just hang on to the line until you're ready to let me know whether or not we can get you over to the primary care doctor, and I'll be right here.
You said hang on to the line?
Yeah, just hold on.
What am I holding for?
The same reason why I'm holding, Mr. Omar. I'm holding to wait on you to let me know how I can help you meet your health care goals. You're holding for that same reason. We're both in it together, holding for that reason. So do you want me to get you over to your primary care doctor so that you can meet your health care goals with him and talk to him about your chest pain, or do you want to just hold on the line with me for a few minutes while you think about it? You can just think about it for a few minutes. Just think about it. You don't have to give me the right answer right now. Just hold on. Just think about it. I want you to have enough time to really ponder what I'm saying, because I don't want you to feel like you're pressured into getting over to your primary care doctor to address your health care concerns.
At this point, it doesn't make a difference, because everything I'm telling you, I've told my primary care doctor. And, you're telling me things like...
So if you're not Go ahead. If you're not liking your primary care doctor and they're not working for you, we could try to work to find you another one. Would you like us to try to look you up another primary care doctor that you might be, better like suited for or better suited for you? We can do that.
No, they assigned me a primary care doctor at the Florida State University Primary Health, the same place where I'm going to go to law school and get my medical degree from also. So, I mean, I don't know where would be a better place to have my primary care physician, but
if you feel like that's the best place, then we need to call them and get you an appointment so you can talk to them.
That's all I know. I just moved to Tallahassee, Florida in January of 2023. I'm sure there's private primary care insurance places. I mean, private primary
Either way,
doctors
it sounds like
it
sounds like there might be an okay fit for you. You haven't had enough experience with them to really say whether or not you like them or not. Sounds like, right?
It's
call them and make an appointment.
It's just a name. Florida State University Primary Health. I'm going to school to get my law degree and my medical degree from Florida State University School of Law and School of Medicine because I can't find anybody. Because I can't find anybody to help me with the cases that I just mentioned to you that Humana is being billed for, and I've only got one life to live, so I'm not going to give up on obtaining monetary relief for me and my family because
So is that why you're calling today? Is the real reason you're calling Humana today? The at the end of the day is so that you can get monetary relief. Is that why you're calling?
Yeah, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to fully recover. Because
we cannot offer you any monetary relief. That's not something we Humana offer. We can't do that. I'm sorry. So how else can I help you health-wise?
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is this situation has ruined the quality of me and my family's life. And
I know. You told me that already. And you said that you would not be repeating any of this stuff, and I don't want you to repeat it. So you told me all of that stuff right there. So how can I help you health-wise within my scope, not returning to the statutes and not going back over to what everything that everybody else has done? The only thing I can help you with is contacting your primary care doctor so that you can speak to them, or you could contact them on your own. And it sounds like you're able to do that. Since you're going to law and medical school, what I need you to do, go ahead and contact your primary care doctor and talk to them. Otherwise, there won't be anything else we could do for you here. And it doesn't really sound like like you really need case management. You sound like you're more than capable and able to do anything that I would be able to do to you. Are you utilizing your free $25 over-the-counter drug benefit? That's that free $25 a month over-the-counter drug benefit for mail-order stuff. If not, I can send that catalog to you so that you can start using it. It is it's ideal that you use it by the 22nd of the month. Would you like me to get it over to you?
Sure. The thing is,
okay, so I show you. Okay.
I'm not feeling well, and I'm still injured from these cases that I'm reporting to you. So it's difficult for me. Like right now, I'm
going ahead and sending you, Mr. Omar, can't talk to you about the cases. I'm going to go ahead and send you over the over-the-counter drug benefit form to your home address. As far as like, who do you live with? Do you live by yourself, your family, spouse, children?
I live by myself because it's not safe for me to live with my family because people keep trying to kill me.
Okay, sorry about them trying to kill you. We got to maintain and stick to the health care. I can't do anything about them trying to kill you. I'm so sorry. That's something that you do need to contact the police department about, though. If somebody's trying to hurt you, I don't want you to feel like your life is in danger. If they're not able to do anything about it, that's not something that's within our scope. I'm sorry, okay? What about as far as your activities of daily living, like bathing, cooking, cleaning, eating, walking, dressing, grooming, toileting? Are you able to do all that stuff on your own?
I need a home health aide, but Humana is able to do something about it because they're being billed for these things. I'm going to
Mr. Omar, not able to do anything about that. Sorry. As far can you bathe yourself? Can you cook for yourself?
I'm having difficulties doing those things.
Okay. What about cleaning, eating, walking, and dressing? How do you get around? You live by yourself, so how are you doing this stuff day to day? You just doing it slow and having issues?
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry that's happening. Have you had any falls in the last 6 months or fear of falling?
I almost fell yesterday in the shower.
Almost fell. Okay. Have you had any eye or dental exam in the last 2 months?
I went to the dentist. I think it was a few months ago, or maybe 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm. What about eye exam? You should have an eye exam at least once every year or two. Have you had an eye exam in the last 2 years?
When I was at my primary care physician's office the other day, or not too long ago, he shined a bright light in both of my eyes.
Okay.
It's really uncomfortable.
Primary care doesn't do eye examinations. So let me give you the number to your eye care insurance, and then I'll look up some eye care places for you to go and get an eye exam. You should have one of those at least once every year, okay? So you got something to write with? I'll give you your eye insurance number so you can call and schedule.
Could you email it to me?
No, I can't. I can't offer an email at this time. I'm sorry. My email is down. But what I can do is I can have you write it down.
What's the number?
Okay. That number to your eye insurance it's called Eye Care, and their number is 1-877-418-2025. And then if you wait just one moment, I'll try to see who's near your area, and then you can go ahead and schedule with them. You might not have anybody really close, depending on how rural the area is you live in, but I'll look. So hold on one moment. All right, let's see who you got near you. Not coming up with anything with that particular zip code, 33303.
I can't hear you.
Hold on just one moment. I'm sorry. Okay, so you got a couple of places that are not too far from you that you can go to. One of the places is called Walmart Vision Center, and that's on West Tennessee Street, about 5 miles away from you. And their number, let me know when you're ready.
I'm not gonna go to Walmart. There's too many people there. There's too many germs.
Okay. My eye doctor, Optometry in Florida. They're on Lafayette Street. Would you like their number?
What are the zip codes of those areas?
This one is not giving me a zip code, but when I put in your zip code, they're within your area about 10 miles. So this one is saying it's 8.5 miles, and it's showing me it's on East Lafayette Street with no zip on any of these, but it just says it's about 8 miles away. Would you like their number?
Sure.
Okay. So their number is 850-656-3300. And then there's another my eye doctor on Timber Lane Road, about 8.5 miles away. So one is 8.25 miles away, the one on East Lafayette, and the one at Timber Lane Road is not far from it at 8.5 miles away. So their phone number is 850-893-4687. So you can call them. You don't now. This one you don't have to have a prior authorization to call and schedule an eye exam, but you can get an eye exam about once a year. And they also do glasses too. I think they do them every other year. When you go in there, they'll give you a selection of frames to choose from. Okay, so you can try that. They also do the MD Live number. This is the 24/7 urgent care that you can call. They're a telephonic option, and you could just call them, and they'll be on the phone with you as opposed to you having to go somewhere. They can treat stuff like stomach flu, sinus infection, ear pain, bug bites, that kind of stuff. You do need to seek medical attention, like from the ER with the symptoms you're having, though, with chest pain. But if you have some non-life-threatening emergencies, you can call 24/7 to MD Live, and their phone number is 844 403 0556.
You say that one more time?
Sure. It is 844 403 0556. And then I want to look up some urgent care options that are building near you. So hold on just a moment. Let's see who you got near you. Okay. So you don't have anything close as far as urgent care with the plan close to you. You must be in a more rural area, so you don't have anything really close. So let me see where the nearest one is. Sometimes they can be quite far if you're not in a rural area, so it's best to use the MD Live option for urgent. In the event of a storm like a hurricane, do you stay in the area or do you leave?
I don't know. I'm in a brand new construction property, so I mean, I'm assuming it's
So
durable
you probably,
enough.
at this point, I'll put that if you have any changes, you can call us, and we sometimes check on our member if a hurricane hits. So we'll put that you stay in the area. Okay. And then what about, let's see, what else I can give to you? So you have MD Live. You don't have any urgent care options anywhere near close to you, so that MD Live is going to be your best option. You have the eye exam that you can call, and then you know how to locate your primary care doctor if you need to find them. What about behavioral health? Do you need referral to them? I can give you some numbers for behavioral health so you can call them and get connected. We have a telephonic option called Brave Health, and then we have another that's called Carolyn. I think that's in your area. If Carolina is not in your area, it'll be, we have 3 options. I'm sorry, I cannot remember them. Hold on, let me look them up. But Brave Health is telephonic, so you can utilize them at any time. So would you like the telephonic option, or would you like me to look up somewhere that you can go and see somebody for behavioral health?
Behavior health. What is that? What is that going to help?
That's for your mental health. Like, do you have any depression, isolation, loneliness, thoughts of suicide, difficulty sleeping, or anything like that related to behavioral health that you feel like you need a referral for? If not, you could just have the number just in case you do. Otherwise, just in case you want to use it.
Well, I don't. Yeah, they haven't helped me in the past. They just made the situation worse.
Okay.
And they billed my insurance company for it, and they also tried to cover it up.
Okay. Well, then you don't have to worry about that. Then I'll say that you don't want it. If you do have any emergent issues, though, you can, and you want to change your mind, you can call either us or 211 or either the findhelp.org. Now, would you like me to look up any food banks in your area? I can look on findhelp.org for you. Are you aware of where they're located?
Sure.
Okay, hold on just a moment. I'll be happy to. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I'm showing a couple of food pantries near you. Hold on, let me make sure I get to the closest one. Okay, so this one is the closest one to you, so it's showing. They have something called Our Father's Storehouse Food and Clothing Ministry. It's over about off of Ox Bottom Road.
Okay. I mean, does it? Huh?
They do food pantry and clothing on Tuesdays from 5 to 7.
Do they have?
You want that number?
Do they help Muslim people also?
Do they help what?
Muslims?
Muslim? Oh, you know what? I'm not sure about that, but most of the time when you're outreaching for stuff like this, they don't mind whatever your religion does to help you or not to help you. You understand? So typically they don't ask your religion when they're helping you. They just help you.
I remember.
You have a problem receiving help unless it's Muslim.
Well, I've been discriminated against a lot, and then I went to a Catholic church for help to get some food, and they gave me a bunch of food that was expired or was the day before it was going to be expired, and it made me sick, and I broke out all over my face and stuff. It was really bad.
Gotcha. You think they were doing that because you're a Muslim, or you think it just was something that happened?
Well, they were on the same compound as a graveyard, so I'm sure they had some kind of interest in their, business ventures.
Oh, that's far-fetched. That's too far-fetched. I can't buy it. Okay, so what about the Salvation Army Food Pantry? Would you like me to give you that number?
What does far-fetched mean?
Far-fetched means that I find it hard to believe that they knew that you were coming and developed a plan against you for when you came. So I'm not going to try to. I'm not even trying to go down that road. I don't have time. I don't have that kind of time to go down that road. I don't believe that happened. But if that's what you believe, I can't change that now. Food pantry at Salvation Army in Tallahassee.
No. I don't play games like that.
Mr. Omar, I'm not entertaining that. Would you like the food pantry information, or would you like to decline respectfully?
Yeah, me neither. What I'm trying to tell you is I went there, and that's the food that they gave me.
I believe you, Ben.
I'm not sure.
Food pantry, Mr. Omar, I cannot. Would you like the food pantry at the Salvation Army in Tallahassee? Would you like that number or not? If you do not want any of the food pantries, you can go on to findhelp.org and try to determine whether or not they're right for you to receive food from. It did not bother you that Humana may not be Muslim when you called today to request financial need, though.
Okay.
You wanted to get financial gain, and you didn't care whether or not Humana was Muslim or not. Now, if you want the food pantry information, I can give it to you, but I'm not going to give it to you if it's going to cause you to go down a path of telling me that they tried to do something to you, because there's not anything I can do about that. Would you like the numbers to a couple of food pantries regard to what might happen?
First of all, if you don't mind me saying this to you. Could you just calm down for a second? Because I'm just talking to you.
Mr. Omar, I am completely calm. I am just refusing to go down certain paths at this time.
Okay, well,
Now,
that's
would
fine.
you or would you not?
Like I was saying,
Mr. Omar, can I pleasure you with a couple of food banks or not? I cannot go down the path of thinking that somebody might have hurt you and the government statutes and limitations and entities. We don't do that here. That's not something we do. Would you like the food pantry information? Can that help you or can it? You know what? Don't worry about that. I think you're capable because you're getting a medical degree as well as a law degree of doing this yourself. So findhelp.org, food pantries are there. They also have information there for anything that you need assistance with, including housing, goods, transit, health. They even say they have help paying cell phone bills and utilities and homes for renters and insurance. I don't know to what extent, but you'll have to go on there and find out what they have for you, and whatever you want to exclude, you can exclude. If you feel leery about it, you can be leery about it. But it's findhelp.org, food pantry.
What is leery?
You want me to give you the definition?
Oh, I just asked you, what is
leery?
leery?
It just means suspicious. If you're suspicious of any of it, or not, or just feeling kind of uneasy about it, or if you mean that you don't want to do it or something like that, that's all it means. It's nothing, it's just another word for saying if you feel suspicious of any of the things that you find when you go to findhelp.org, that's a decision you can make. Okay? So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this conversation up for today. Is there anything else We Humana can do for you? There's nothing other than that type stuff. There's nothing else we can do. I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and go to your, call your primary care doctor and let them know about the issues you're having with chest pain. Or if they persist and get worse, I'm definitely going to ask you to go to the hospital and seek medical attention. Other than that, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Yeah. What's your name?
Mr. Omar, is there anything, my name is Tangi. Is there anything else that I can do for you today along those lines of your health care, health related? We have been on the phone for like an hour, and I need to make sure that you're going to be okay with what I'm telling you. And I need to also make sure you understand what we cannot do. So we cannot do anything with the cases. We cannot do anything with the records. We cannot do any outreach to those hospitals that are down south, all of them. We cannot do anything about the statutes that you've mentioned, and we cannot do anything about anything in relation to some type of wrong that you've experienced. You need to contact the police or the FBI or contact the White House again and the rest of the government bodies. But what I can do, I've done for you. I've provided you with your information for a place or two that you can get an eye exam. I have provided you the opportunity to, if you want to get behavioral health number, I have provided you with findhelp.org if you want to take a look through there and see what's available to you as far as like any assistance. And you can always also dial 211. Can I help you with anything pertaining to your health today?
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, could I speak with a different case manager?
Absolutely not. You absolutely will be talking to me only. I am the supervisor in this situation. So if you need to speak to anybody else concerning this situation about what we can and cannot do for you, that's something you're going to have to take up at another time. You have already talked to somebody in SIU or whatever the unit is that transfer you to me, and you have sat on the phone with them over an hour, and they have told you what? Nothing. They have gotten you over to me. I have contacted you twice. Okay, I'm trying to help you. I'm going to need you to help me help you, but I can't help you with any of that stuff that you previously talked to me about. How can I help you meet your health care goals? What I can do is I can connect you to your primary care doctor. I can call them with you on the line, or you can call them yourself. Or I can, no, that's all I can do for you right now because I've done everything else. What else can I do for you? Do you want me to do that? I can call your primary care doctor so you can make an appointment.
Sure.
Okay. Let's get you over to your primary care doctor so that you can make an appointment. Thank you so much for calling us today. Let's get you over there, and then you talk to them about what you got going on. and then maybe they can see you soon, because I hate to think that you're sitting up here, with chest pain and everything. That's not good. That could indicate that you're trying to have a heart attack or something like that. So do you know what the signs and symptoms of a heart attack is before I get you over there?
No.
Okay, let me look that up. So just so you can know how serious it is when you're dealing with, when you're dealing with issues with your heart and chest pain and all of that stuff, it's very important that you take these things seriously. So if you have like any shortness of breath, or if you're having chest pain, or if you're having like any pain along the left side of your arm that's going and radiating up and down the left side of your arm, that is signs and symptoms that you need to be seeking medical attention for.
Yeah, that happens. That happens every day.
Yeah, that's why I'm concerned. So I definitely need you to talk to him about it. Hold on, please. I'll get
It's
you
been
over.
happening for years.
Hold on, Mr. Omar. Sorry about that. My system kind of glitched just then when I was trying to do the connection. One moment, please. For some reason, Mr. Omar, my system will not let me put the doctor's office into the call. But, probably because you got transferred to me. Maybe it's not. It won't allow me to do it. So let me give you the number to your primary care doctor's office, and I need you to go ahead and give them a call.
Just call me. Just call me on the other line.
I can't without disconnecting. So
Okay,
I
so
don't want to disconnect and then have to call you back.
Why not? Just disconnect and
You
call
don't
me
need
back.
to disconnect. You don't need, Mr. Omar, you're quite well-versed and smart. You know how to call. So go ahead and call 850.
No, what I'm asking you is to just hang up and call me back so you could call them while I'm on the phone.
Why?
Because I want to see how you can help me.
Oh, I can't help you with that. I mean, you just want me to? Okay, you know what? I will do that. Hold on, I'll call you right back.
What am I asking?
I'll give you a call right back.
Am I asking you to do anything?
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that. I could do that one time. I'll give you a call right back. Okay? We'll
What I'm saying, what I'm saying is, am I asking you to do anything that is not in your job description, or am I offending you?
Mr. Omar, I'll be happy to call you back. I'll call you right back. Okay? Us having this conversation, going back and forth and around is just wasting time. So I'll call you right back. Okay?
I'm glad you acknowledged that.
Unknown call.
Hello, it's Omar.
Hi, this is Tangi, Nurse Case Manager with Humana Healthy Horizons Plan. This call may be recorded for quality assurance. This is Mr. Omar Fuad, or how do you pronounce it? Is it Fuad or Fode, or how do you pronounce that?
It doesn't even matter at this point.
Okay. Is this Mr. Omar Fuad?
Mm-hmm.
It is?
Sure, if that's what you want to call me.
Hi, Mr. Omar. Can you please verify your date of birth and zip code for quality purposes?
No, I don't want to.
Okay, well, then I won't be able to call your primary care doctor on your behalf unless you verify. Would you like to verify with me so we can go ahead and call him?
I was just talking
Otherwise,
to you.
Say it again, sir?
I said, I just told you to hang up and call me back. You just called me back.
Right, but which is why I was trying not to do it. But anytime we disconnect the call, we have to redo all of this stuff. And it just be your date of birth and zip code for quality.
December 14th, 1988, 32303.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Omar. Let's go ahead and give your primary care doctor a call and see if they'll see you. One moment, please. Sorry about that, Mr. Omar. For some reason, I don't know if my system is just acting up or what's going on, but hold on. Let me see if I can find another number for them. I can't tell if it's the number for them that won't dial out or if it's my system. I just can't dial them. So one moment, please. Let me see.
You might have to press 1 and then the number.
Not giving me that option, though. It's not even ringing. So hold on just one moment. I wish it would give me that option, but it's not. So, let's see. I might have the wrong one for Florida Medical Practice Plan. Roberts Avenue. Hold on, I'm going to try to just Google their information. Sometimes we have an older number for them in the system. Okay, so I'm showing Florida State University. Call it. Not the address I have here, though. Roberts Avenue. Trying to see if this number is the match for system because it's just not letting me dial. I don't know if I'm having just system issue dialing or what. Okay, that's the same number. So hold on, let me try that again. Let me dial out. You should still be on the line, Mr. Omar. If I don't know if you can hear or not, but it's not dialing when I try to call this number. Do you usually have this issue, or you dialing it goes right through?
No, I've been. What do you mean? When I call them?
Yes, when you call your doctor's office, have you had an issue with it before, or when you call, does it go right through? Because it's not ringing for me.
Usually it's like an automated message, and then sometimes they answer the phone. Sometimes I have to leave a message, and then they'll call me back or something like that.
Okay. It's not even giving me an option. If you can hear, I'm still connected with them, but it's not ringing. It's not saying dial anything. It's not a recording. So I'm not sure. Hold on. Just one moment. Let me have someone else try to see if they can call that number just to see if it'll ring. One moment, please. One more time while waiting for her. I don't know why it won't ring on this end. That's the number I have for them. That's the correct number, though. It will not ring. I know my phone working because I'm talking to you. So. Who's your primary care doctor over there?
Say it again.
Who you see? Who's the primary care doctor that you see over there typically, or do you see everybody?
The primary care physician's name is Dr. George Whitten.
I'm ringing for me. Why? Let me see if it calls anybody else.
the Humana Special Investigations Hotline. If you are calling to report suspected fraud, waste, or abuse, please press 1. For all other inquiries, press 2.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Humana. My name's Philip. How can I help you today?
I need to speak with the Special Investigations Unit.
Okay. And your name's?
Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fouad.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Now, was it the specialist for complaint, for potential fraud, for claims, authorizations?
Yeah, all of those. They transferred me to a case manager. I requested a different case manager. She was, like I don't know how to explain it, but it's not what I expected from a case manager. She wouldn't even let
Not interactive enough? Not there for you enough?
She wouldn't let me speak. I was just having a normal conversation, explaining to her the situation, and she just would not let me speak. And then when I was trying to mention to her about a Catholic church that I went to for help to get some food, and I explained to her that they gave me some expired food and food that was about to be expired the next day, and it made me break out and made me sick. And then I also mentioned to her that the church was on the same compound as a graveyard. So, I don't know if, that's something that was, deliberately done. And because, it's in the interest of their business ventures, being that they have a graveyard and they're giving people expired food and it's making them sick. And she just assumed that I was saying that they did that to me on purpose. And all I said was what happened and where the place was located. And then she tried to make it seem like I was lying, but then she just got real offensive and stuff, and she was offensive. Like, she just became real, like, aggressive, kind of, I guess you could say. But, I don't know how aggressive a female could be, but just how she was speaking. It's just, I need some real professional, genuine case management, not just somebody who's just gonna, react off of, how they're feeling that day, and, the latest hip hop song that they were influenced by, and, them being hungover from, a party that they went to from spring break the night before, the weekend before. I don't need that type of interaction in my life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Who was the case manager? What was her name?
She identified her name as Tangela or Tangi or something like that.
Okay. All right. And she just jumped to a conclusion there was something wrong?
Yeah, and I was just talking to her normally, like anybody would, like
Yeah.
I'm talking to you right now.
Seems weird to just jump to a conclusion like that for somebody, especially if somebody's being lucid and very conversal. It just seems weird to go, what are you talking? Oh, so they, I mean, I get it. I mean, I have heard of that, unfortunately. I do apologize that you had to get that, but I have unfortunately heard on a few occasions where the food outlets for the community sometimes they do come across as expired because they're not buying their food; it's donated to them, and Lord knows how long people had it before they donated it.
Or who donated it to them and for what reason.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I doubt they ask. And that's unfortunate because it's food. It should. There should be some standard to it, of course.
And it's funded for them to provide that service through the church. So.
Yeah. Let me see. All right, I don't think she's your actual case manager, though. I think she's just a case manager. Because when I'm looking through your thing to see if you have one assigned, it's blank. So she could have been one who they pulled to talk. I want to actually see if they left notes, because they usually do, and that's great. So, and if it is, I can actually get a better understanding if there is another one in here that they never listed. So if she is Tangela, we could see if we can do about moving her.
And then also another thing too, I asked her to call my primary care physician for me, and said she was trying to call him, but something was wrong with her system or her phone. It wasn't working, and then she just hung up the phone. So I waited for a second to see if she'd call me back. She didn't call me back either. So I'm assuming she just either was having difficulties with her phone, because I literally was speaking with the Special Investigations Unit and they transferred me to her. And then she did those things that I just mentioned to you. And then and she tried to call my primary care physician and it wasn't working. So I don't know if, internally Humana was, intervening because of how she was communicating with me. And they didn't allow her to call my primary care physician because I asked specifically if I could speak with a different case manager, and then she got all argumentative with me because I asked if I could speak with a different case manager or a supervisor. And she just started talking to me like if, she was my slave owner or something.
Yeah, I do see Angela notes. Well, let's see. Let's go to the mail hard copy. What did she mail?
To be quite honest with you, she sounded like a police officer. She sounded like a police officer that I spoke with in Miami who injured me. Or she might have been somebody that they knew. Only because of how she was talking and how she, became, like argumentative when I just was talking to her normally about specific things. And she didn't allow me to explain to her anything. And it's just, there was two female police officers in Miami, Florida on March 27, 2019 that I asked for their names and badge numbers as I was walking to the parking garage of the Four Seasons Hotel to get my bicycle and leave. And I asked them for their names and badge numbers because I had to notify the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore in federal court that the law firm Homer, Bonner, and Jacob called the police on me and lied to them and told them I was trespassing when I wasn't, because I was there and I had a legal binding contract between me and the Homer, Bonner, and Jacob law firm for a settlement agreement that we agreed to settle with outside of court, and that was acknowledged by the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore. And the Homer Bonner and Jacob law firm was hired by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank because of an Uber scam that they were involved with, that I was a victim of. And they overnight rush delivered to me the settlement documentations for me to sign. And the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore told me to sign the documents immediately. And that's what I did. And then we had an appointment scheduled, and they didn't call me. So I went to their office with the documentation, and the people at the Homer Bonner and Jacob law firm on the 14th floor of the Four Seasons Hotel in downtown Miami told me that the attorneys weren't there, and they weren't answering the phone either. So they said to just reschedule, make another appointment. So that's what I did. And then I was leaving the building, and I was in front of the elevator waiting for the elevator so I could go 14 floors down to the parking garage and get my bike and leave. And they called the police on me. Literally, when I was standing in front of the other elevator opened, and the police entered, and they told them I was trespassing. And then as I was walking downstairs with the police officers, I was explaining to them the same situation that they were already aware of, because one of the police officers that came was one of the same police officers that came to the store that I was managing in Miami, and she knew who I was, and she was smiling because she recognized me and she knew who I was. And so I was just explaining to them, how serious the situation is, and the fact that they've been trying to cover it up. And I've been doing everything I possibly could to document everything. And I notified the judges in civil court and federal court. And I was explaining to them the situation as we were walking to the parking garage. And literally right before I was going to enter the parking garage, I just asked them for their names and badge numbers, because I had to specify that I spoke with these specific officers, and I had to document their names and badge numbers so I could provide it to the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore, because he specifically directed me to sign the settlement documentation. And that's what I did. And the law firm who sent me the settlement documentation to sign, they didn't answer the phone, nor did they call me when they said they were going to call me at that specific time. So I went to their office with the settlement documentation, and I had to bring that to the attention of the Honorable Chief Justice Michael Moore, because that law firm tried to cover it up by calling the police and saying that I was trespassing. So just like the police brutality case that happened previously, before that police brutality case, they tried to cover it up, and they were just making the situation more difficult, more complicated, more exhausting. And those two female police officers, when I asked them for their names and badge numbers, they jumped me, they injured me, they arrested me, and they charged me with trespassing and resisting arrest without violence to her person.
Oh, wow.
And then then they put me on probation. And then my dad had to drive me all the way to Miami, and he had just recently had foot surgery. And it was an ongoing problem, because it affected me and it affected my family, and it ruined the quality of me and my family's life. And it's more serious than what I just mentioned to you, because it continued to happen. And what they did was they violated 18 USC SS 1513 and SS 766.110. And they did those things together. The violation of 18 USC SS 1513 is the government employees trying to cover up the case together that caused me to get injured, which is a very serious violation. And the violation of SS 766.110 is the violation that the hospitals did when I went to the hospital for help. And I complained about the fact that I was injured, and I was injured by the police. And the hospitals tried to cover it up also. And they did all these things together. And it continued to happen. And they did everything they possibly could to try to cover it up. They harassed me. They manipulated my daily routine, my ability to accomplish my necessary living necessities. They exhausted me of all my resources. They unethically hacked my phone. They sent me to uninhabitable rental properties that had people there who purposely did the same exact things they did. And they purposely made me sick at those uninhabitable rental properties. They caused me to catch Streptococcus group A, and I had to get surgery. And then they sent me to another uninhabitable rental property, and they did the same exact thing there. And it was just, it continued to do those things. And I literally had to run away from South Florida. And I'm now in Tallahassee, Florida. And I'm here because I was hoping I'd be safer, being that there's more government entities and municipalities here. And it's the capital of Florida, so they would have to follow the law. Unlike South Florida, where it's a high traffic tourist area and there's a lot of corruption and a lot of jealousy and a lot of criminal activity within the government entities and municipalities, and it's really bad. Like they're the reason why there's so much crime in South Florida, because they're committing the crimes. And, they're broadcasting it as if, the people who are going to jail are the main people responsible for it. When in all actuality, a lot of the people who are going to jail or complaining are depending on those same government entities and municipalities that are corrupt for help. And, they're not helping. They're making it worse. And, they've been doing that for years, and they are aware of how they could take advantage of people in those specific demographic areas, because they're vulnerable and, their resources are them. And, they know from experience how they could get away with taking advantage of those people, because they've done it before. And that's what they did to me. And, I wasn't expecting that, because my father retired from the Broward Sheriff's Office after 30 years of service. And, I until I moved to Tallahassee, Florida, I thought that that's just how life was, and it's not. That's how life is, where government entities and municipalities are corrupt the most. I mean, there's corruption within almost every entity and municipality in the world. But, there's corruption that's worse than other areas. And South Florida is really bad, and a lot of the times, people are scared to complain about it because they might have been working for that company or that entity, municipality, or city and state government for 10, 20, 30 years, and they're expecting a pension, and they're depending on the money that they receive from their job to be able to afford their necessary living necessities, their house payment, their car payment, the money that they need to support their family and provide for their children. And, they're worried about being retaliated against, or being retaliated against by getting fired, or being retaliated against by getting physically assaulted by somebody at their job. So, sometimes they just don't say anything. And that causes problems for vulnerable victims like myself, and now my family. So it's like, I only have one life to live, and if I give up on trying to obtain monetary relief because of these reoccurring violations of 18 USC SS 1513 and SS 766.110 and similar statutes continuously being violated, then they're going to end up getting away with it. And from experience, when they were trying to get away with it and I wasn't able to document it and I brought it to their attention, they just tried to act like it didn't happen. So I know from experience that if I don't document it and I don't continue to report it, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to try to act like it didn't happen. And just like then, when I reported to them the situation and they acted like it didn't happen, they didn't give me monetary relief. And I'm reporting it and I'm documenting it, and I have clear and convincing evidence proving everything I'm reporting beyond a reasonable doubt, and they still haven't given me monetary relief. So, and they're aware of these complaints during, before, and after they happen. Because like I said, they're doing things like they're harassing me, they're unethically hacking my phone, they're exhausting me of my resources. They're aware of, what I could possibly do to continue to report them, while I'm in specific demographic areas with specific resources, that are, of monetary value that I have, or of resources that are in the community. They're aware of all these things. So they're controlling all these things, and then they're acting like what I'm saying isn't true. That's fraud. That's fraud. That's a waste of policy. That's fraud and abuse. That's fraud upon the courts. That's violations of 18 USC SS 1513 and similar statutes. That's violations of SS 766.110 and similar statutes. And it's an attempt to murder.
Right.
And it's a procurement scam. Because I have Humana Medicaid and I'm on Social Security disability.
Yes, indeed.
And it's
So I did put in a notification, and I guess they're going to have another manager call you. Apparently a higher up, like a supervisor, is going to be calling you back to discuss this, the changing of the case managers.
Okay. Yeah, that'll help. I mean, yeah, that'll definitely help, because Humana is being billed for all of these things, and then the previous person I was just talking to, the case manager who I'm complaining about right now also, she started getting argumentative and started trying to like intimidate me by saying, do I need to call behavioral health to notify them? Are you feeling suicidal? Are you feeling depressed? And she was saying it in an intimidating way, as if she was using that as something to scare me, because she's aware that, they take advantage of people. They falsify medical documentation, they abuse them, they injure them, they inject them with medication that makes people sick and causes tardive dyskinesia and uncomfortableness and all these different problems that I've been complaining about. And, she's obviously aware of that. And she's obviously aware of other people complaining about it. So she tried to use that as like an intimidation factor. And another thing too, she didn't make any sense when I was explaining things to her. Like, she was saying one thing, but then when I was explaining to her, that Humana is being billed for these things, she was trying to say, she was trying to, avoid the facts of the situation, which is Humana is being billed every time I go to the doctor and I'm complaining about these things that are causing injuries and causing symptoms and causing illnesses to me. And that's a problem, because those things are purposely being caused to me. And if I'm going to the doctor and Humana is paying the bill, that's a waste of policy. And that's fraud. And these situations are being brought to the attention of government entities and municipalities. So that's fraud. That's forced fraud upon the court. And that's a procurement scam at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's an attempt of murder also, because it's killing me. And what they've been doing is an attempt on my life, because it's killing me, it's injuring me, it's making me sick. It's not making me better. And it's also affecting my family negatively. It's ruining the quality of me and my family's life. And, I'm very familiar with, what they're doing to me at this point, because they've done it several times. Like I mentioned, they're violating statutes SS 766.110 and 18 U.S. Code SS 1513 and similar statutes. They're violating those specific statutes and U.S. codes reoccurringly, repeatedly, over and over and over again. So I'm very familiar with what they're doing to me. I've complained about this same thing several times, and she was mentioning something about, I'm very well versed on what I'm explaining to her and this and that, and I don't need any help from a case manager. And I'm explaining to her that I'm still feeling sick and I'm still injured. And then she said a different excuse. And so it's like, it's as if she just doesn't want to do anything. She just wants to pick up the phone and just read a script and get paid for it. And then, continue her life by, engaging in trending crimes, because that's what is going on.
Right. So, what I would suggest then is, because that's awful, give her a chance to give you a call back, the boss, because I guess she's probably looking into it because she did note that they were going to call you back, or she's going to call you back. So I guess it's Tangi's. It's above. The person calling back will be above Tangi for sure.
I don't know how else to explain.
They can call up to 8 o'clock, just so you know too. So if you see a call, that's 6:37. They can call up to 8 o'clock because that's when they work until.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what more I could possibly do because I've reported this to the White House. When I reported to the White House, I would see news reports about saying things about how they were investigating Donald J. Trump, and then they have news reports about how they were investigating the FBI, and then there would be news reports about how they were investigating the Biden administration, and I still haven't obtained monetary relief. And that's what I need to be able to, fully recover.
So let her do your thing, and you can let her know, and then maybe she can have a better. Because obviously, that what she knows is going to be above my pay grade. The things she has access to. So wait for her to call, and then they can give you more info.
Yeah, because like I was mentioning, I've done everything I possibly could with the resources that I have, and them continuing to, make me more sick and them continuing to make me more injured is making it that much more difficult for me to be able to work and, become successful. And it's making it to where I have to continue to depend on these same government entities and municipalities that are causing me to continue to get sick and more injured. So the only way I'll be able to fully recover is if I obtain monetary relief. And that is what they do not want to acknowledge. They don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to allow me to acknowledge that what they're doing is what the problem is. They don't want to say, the truth. They don't want to say, Omar, I know you're not feeling well, and I know you're injured, and I know you have to depend on us, and I know that you're aware just as well as we're aware that we're not providing quality preventative care. We're not providing quality medical care to you for you to be able to fully recover, to be able to, become successful and accomplish your goals in life. And that is causing you to have to continue to depend on us, the same people that are doing things to continue to make you sick and continue to make you more injured. So you're never going to be able to obtain monetary relief or become successful, and you're never going to be able to obtain justice for what the police officers did to you and what the government employees did to you. They don't want to say that.
Yeah.
And, but there's already evidence of them conducting a procurement scam. There's already evidence of exactly what I just mentioned to you. There's already evidence of everything that proves exactly what I just mentioned to you. But they're more interested in continuing to try to cover up the case and continuing to try to harass me and unethically hack my phone and manipulate the situation during, before, and after these complaints just so they can continue to get away with it. And that's a violation of 18 U.S. Code SS 1513 and SS 766.110 and similar statutes. So it's as if they're my slave master, and I just have to be okay with dying this way at 35 years old.
So, yeah.
And
So,
that's
let
not,
her know. By the way, what's the phone number? So just to make sure they have it right in here.
and that's not okay for them to do that to me or my family.
No. All right, what's a good phone number?
772-538-8586.
Excellent. All right, so yeah, give them some time. They should actually be calling you soon because based on the notes here, they're going to. All right, so give them time and they will call you back, I promise.
Okay, and this is the Special Investigations Unit that I'm talking to right now, right?
All right, it'll be above the person you spoke to for sure. It'll be above Tangi.
No, I mean, you, Philip, you're at the Special Investigations Unit?
No, sir. I'm actually with the member services.
So I called 1-800-614-4126.
Yes. All right, so yeah, give him time. Should call you back, okay?
Okay. So does it say that I called Special Investigations Unit and then you answered the phone?
I see all the notes, yeah, but it's above me, so I guess that they're going to have somebody else call you, like a supervisor call you.
Okay. All right.
Excellent. Alrighty.
Okay. So, but is there a reason why? Is there a reason why the Special Investigations Unit didn't answer the phone?
I think they're working with her, so they're going to work all that together.
Well, I don't know about working with her.
So she'll explain everything they did. Obviously, I don't have access to all those notes, so they'll explain everything.
Yeah, she should be
If that's it,
fired.
they're going to call you back down.
She should be fired.
And you can express that concern to her boss. Okay?
Yeah, I just don't feel like going through all that again.
Don't worry, you shouldn't have to. You'll be talking to a boss next time.
All right.
Alrighty? All right, take care.
All right. Time now is 4:12 p.m. Today is Monday, March 11th, 2024. Philip, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Well, could you just confirm what time it is right now?
It's 4:12 p.m. on the March 11th.
What day of the week is it?
Monday.
And it's Monday, March 11th, 2024, and the time now is 4:13 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
All right.